I don't know how, I saw you and then suddenly I turn on, my phone and all these alerts. And Susan Lucci had revealed that she had this major health scare.
Oh.
You talked to People magazine about it. What happened?
Well, it certainly took me by surprise. Last October, I was with my husband in a restaurant waiting to be seated. As we're going to our table, I felt this very slight pressure in my chest, and it radiated around to my rib cage, but I didn't think much of it. I never have had a health issue of any kind. So I thought, oh, it's nothing. And by the time we got to the table, it was gone. And a similar thing happened a couple weeks later, and it was gone. And frankly, I thought it was odd that it went around my ribcage to my back, and my inside voice said, oh, do you have a new bra on? Or maybe you put it too tight, And I knew I didn't, but I thought, what else could it be? And then a couple weeks after that, I was in a boutique shopping for a birthday present for a girlfriend. And as they moved away to wrap that gift, I learned that, I felt this unmistakable pressure that I couldn't say was nothing. And I was lucky to have heard another woman years ago talk about how the symptoms for a woman's heart attack are different than a man's. I had no reason to even remember that, but she made an impression on me. And she said that she felt a pressure that felt like an elephant pressing on her chest. And that's what I felt like.
I know we have Eileen here. Eileen, you have a question. You were waving. Stand up, please.
Thank you.
How are you? What is your question for Susan?
Hello,
Hi.
I'm a big fan. I was just wondering, so after this happened, how did you have to change your healthcare routine? You're so fit,
so
and
fit.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen.
I was incredibly lucky. The boutique manager came over and asked me how I was feeling. I told her she had a degree in nursing. How lucky is that?
Wow.
And she said to me, very calmly, Susan, my car is right outside. Why don't I drive you to the hospital, which was St. Francis Hospital, the heart hospital on Long Island, and one of the best in the country. And she drove me there. And as she was driving me, I was so grateful, and I called the doctor who I knew was the head of cardiology there, and he said, yes, come in, your symptoms are significant. While she was driving me there, I'm thinking two things. First of all, I'm thinking, but I have so much more to do.
Right.
I have to go over here
Right.
now. This is nothing. I can't do this now. And anyway, I don't want the doctor who's so, needed by people. I don't want him to think I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe it's nothing.
But you were not.
But I was not. And he said, come in and see me. And it turned out after a CAT scan that I had a 90% blockage in my major artery.
Wow.
And a 75% blockage in an adjacent artery. To answer your question, it was DNA. It was not cholesterol. It was calcium.
Wow.
And my dad had that. So apart from his Italian coloring, I got his DNA. We all thought that I had all my mother's genes. My mother just turned 102.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So lucky. So, hoping I have the rest of her genes.
Oh, you definitely do.
But anyway, so the doctor put 2 stents in that night, and I was released by noon the next day.
Oh, wow.
So lucky that it happened.
Well,